Breaking news ngayon mga kababayan. Si expelled Congressman Arnie Teves ng 3rd District ng Negros Oriental, kinaladkad na mga pulis doon sa Timor-Leste. Di ba nagtatago siya doon mga kababayan dahil sa kasong pagpatay, siya yung itinuturong mastermind sa pagpatay kay Governor Digamo noong 2023 o ngayon nagtatago sa Timor-Leste. Breaking news ngayon, kinaladkad ng mga pulis. Yan expelled lawmaker Arnie Teves arrested in Timor-Leste noong Tuesday evening sa kanyang residence. Kaya lang ngayon lang mga kababayan pinablis ng kanyang anak na si Axel Teves. So kinaladkad siya mga kababayan ng mga authorities, ng mga polis sa Timor-Leste. So sabi dito sa balita, Teves, who used to be the 3rd District Representative in Negros Oriental, is currently in the said country after being tagged as the mastermind in the slaying of Governor Roel Digamo in 2023. In a 10-second video, Teves was seen being forced out of his residence by individuals believed to be Timor-Leste police and immigration officers. Ito siya yung video mga kababayan sa report ng Daily Guardian. Sabi dito, Watts expelled lawmaker Arnolfo Teves Jr. was arrested Tuesday evening in his residence in Dili, Timor-Leste. So sabi ng kanyang anak na si Axel Teves sa Facebook post, "My father has been kidnapped and abused. Please help me make this post go viral so that it will make it to all media outlets and organizations all over the world. We need help. Please." Axel wrote in his Facebook post. Ito yung video ng pagkaladkad sa kanya ng sabi, mga immigration officials at mga pulis sa East Timor. Ayan si Teves. O yung kalbo. Yeah. Ulitin natin. Yan. So ito mga kababayan ang patunay na the long arms of the law will finally reach those people mga kababayan. Sabi nga, you cannot escape the long arms of the law. And finally, yung mga authorities, mahuhuli ka rin. So ito yung warning para kay Harry Roque at iba pang mga pugante mga kababayan tulad ni General Bantag. Di ba si General Bantag nagtatago rin hanggang ngayon? Ngayon si Harry Roque, wanted, isang pugante at patuloy na nagyayabang po. Kaya tama itong mga reactions. Waiting for breaking news, ABS-CBN News for Harry Roque. Sabi ni Jerome Feca. Sabi ni Daryl Villarino, I thought his extradition request by DOJ was denied by East Timor Court. Baka nagbago na yung posisyon. Kasi sabi ni DOJ Secretary Boying Rimulya, question niya yung maturity ng East Timor as a country. Lalo na yung kanilang mga institutions. Kasi dinideny nga yung extradition request ng ating pamahalaan kay Teves. Ito, pakinggan po ninyo yung interview ng mga mainstream reporters as published ng ANC. Dito sa issue ng extradition kay Teves.
Iniintay namin pa rin yung action ng Timor-Leste. And it's come to the point where really we are questioning the maturity of the institutions to be able to undertake membership in the ASEAN. Kasi kung gano'n ang gagawin nila, hindi mature ang institutions nila, baka hindi pa sila ready sa ASEAN.
Sir Harry Roque, may request na po tayo to cancel this passport sa DFA?
Hindi ko pa napipirmahan, but we will do that.
So in the process na sir ang request?
Na-request na sa cancellation ng passport
We will write a letter for
ni
that
Sir,
purpose.
yung iginigit
Harry
ni
Roque
na possible na hindi daw siya basta-basta ma-arrested because of the non-refoulement and yung asylum application niya kailangan pa raw tapusin. He seems confident about
And I'm sure that the asylum application will have to be finished before it's acted upon in the Netherlands. But we know that the Netherlands will not tolerate the commission of crimes that are being charged in this case. They will not tolerate it.
So possible na, sir, kailangan tapusin muna yung
Yeah, asylum kasi is a special process. Kaya mo matapos muna.
But we are also in the process, sir, of applying for red notice sa Interpol.
We will do that, of course. We will do that.
So paano ba yun kapag yung passport niya na-cancel? Matik ba yun? Kailangan siya?
Well, he will be an undocumented alien. Pag wala siyang asylum at nakancel ang passport niya, he will have to be deported.
Yung asylum ay asylum process.
Yun nga, pero matatapos na naman yun. It will end soon. I believe that they will not tolerate the commission of crimes that are being charged here. And they see naman that the justice system is working in this sense, that we have given due process to him to answer. He answered the complaint in Abu Dhabi. We considered everything. And the panel of prosecutors was able to, reach a conclusion that he was to be charged.
Sir Anson K, hapon po nagkaroon ng
So abangan natin yung development dito sa kaso ni Tebes. Baka nagbago ng posisyon yung korte ng Timor-Leste o ng gobyerno mismo ng Timor-Leste. Because of that, posisyon ng ating gobyerno. Baka rangin ng ating gobyerno kasi yung membership nila sa ASEAN. That could be, a great pressure na pwedeng gawin natin. Nag-apply sila sa ASEAN, pagkatapos hindi pa ready sila sa ganitong mga extradition request. Pag ganon, tama si Boying Rimulya. Kaya sabi dito ni Esther Macaraig Hogan, another milestone to General Torre. Sabi ni May Stanislaw Harler, si Roque dapat isunod. Sabi ni Mundihar, good news. Sabi ni Lisa Rojas, next the brother, then the cousins, then the bodyguards. Magtago na tanan, justice for all victims. Sabi ni Alejandro Coiba, goodbye Timor-Leste, welcome Philippines. Sabi ni Ernie Delgado, bring him home, Topacio to the rescue. Sabi ko sa inyo, itong mga pugante, darating din yung kanilang panahon. O ito na siguro, abangan natin kung itong pag-aresto kay Tebes in response na sa extradition request ng ating gobyerno para maibalik siya rito sa Pilipinas at mapapanagot ay harap sa trial po. Just like Harry Roque na dapat isunod mga kababayan si Harry Roque. Sabi ni Becky Joaquin Foilos, this is the time for him to defend himself if he is not guilty. Kaya this serves as a stern warning sa lahat ng mga elected officials. Lahat may katapusan ang pag-ari. Sana maibalik na ang mga nagsik ng elective position na that they should rise above themselves and think of the good of majority, bumuti man sa atin o hindi. Sunod na si Akla at Bantag. Sabi ni Met As Osirek, buti nga kayong mga lawmaker tapos kapagay ginawa kayong kayupan, magtatago kayo. Next na yang si Roque. O ito si Roque, mga kababayan. Sabi dito sa balita ng abogado.ph, Roque decries premature passport cancellation, denies trafficking charge. Deny ka ng deny. Yung denial mo sa media, sa social media live mo, i-deny mo sa korte. Umarap ka sa korte, umuwi ka na rito. Pasasa at mauli ka ni General Torre. Yung application mo, malamang sa malamang, malapit ng magdesisyon yung gobyerno ng Netherlands. Yung desisyon, denied. Yung asylum application mo. Ngayon, na-discover na may multiple passport. Itong si Harry Roque, dumipin siya agad po. Sabi rito, may nahilo na naman, Roque blast Boeing's multiple passport claim as fantastic tale. Fake news ang pinapakalat ng Marcos Jr. administration na mayroon daw akong multiple passport. Hindi nga masabi ng Department of Justice kung 2 o 3 ang aking pasaporte. May nailo na naman. Ito yung interview kay Rimulya, kay Boying.
Sir, on Mr. Harry Roque nga po, nag-apply na rin po tayo ng cancellation ng kanyang passport. How important po yun ngayon?
Siyempre, it will limit his options. I think he holds 2 or 3 passports pa nga. May nagsabi sa akin ng ganon. Ang mahalaga, talagang mapilitan siya mag-account sa kanyang ginawa dito. At depensahan niya ang sarili niya. Eh, hindi pa nga nagsisimula ang lahat tinatakasan niya na, di ba? Kaya sa batas natin, flight is an indication of guilt. Kaya sana, harapin niya na lang para naman maging madali ang lahat para sa ating bansa.
Ito si Harry Roque, dumaldal na naman po. Binabanatan si Secretary Rimulya. Yung pamilya daw ni Secretary Boying Rimulya, kaibigan nila, ang kanyang pamilya rin. Sabay banat. Ayan si Harry Roque. Panoorin natin yung kanyang latest na vlog.
Yun po, medyo nalulungkot ako dahil lang pagkakaibigan namin itong si Secretary Remulla, nasa pre-law pa lang po ako. No? First year college pa lang ako, siya po ay senior na sa college, malapit na po kaming kaibigan. At ang aming mga parientes ay magkakaibigan po. Yung tatay niya at saka nanay ko ay mag-best friend po nung sila ay nasa College of Liberal Arts pa ng UP at saka yung aking tiya na nagpalaki sa akin na retiradong West na pumanaw na rin ay kaklase ng ama niya for 4 years sa College of Law. So ang tawag po namin intergenerational. Naintindihan ko naman po na meron siyang trabaho na dapat gawin pero sana naman dahil ginagampan niya ang trabaho niya doon lang siya sa katotohanan. Ngayon po inanunsyo niya na marami raw akong passport. Paano naman mangyayari yun? Hindi ka makakakuha talaga ng multiple passport unless ikaw mismo ang gumagawa ng passport, no? Dahil hindi papayag ang DFA na magkaroon ka ng multiple passports. Ano ba yung sinasabi niyang multiple passports ko? Well, fake news nga po. Ang nangyari po kasi, ito po yung passport na sinasabi niya na pangalawa kong passport. Tignan niyo po, may butas. Now, bakit po may butas yan? Kasi kanselado na po yan. Ito po, tignan niyo. Kanselado na po yan at bakit naging kanselado na yan? Nakansela na po yan kasi nga wala na po siyang pahinang available. Dahil nung ako naman po ay nagpa-practice, international law ang aking practice, syempre po ako'y biyahe ng biyahe. So lahat ng pahina ko punong-puno na. Validity niya ay till 2029 pa, 20...
Ang tanong, bakit dala-dala mo pa yan? Ba't hindi mo pa yan itapo na? O itago na lang? Ba't lagi mong dala? Anyway, itong aligasyon mga kababayan na may multiple passport si Harry Roque, hindi pa man po kumpirmado. Kaya nga pinapaimbestiga ni Secretary Boying Rimulya. Nakikipag-coordinate na sila sa DFA para alamin kung totoo ang kwento na na-receive po ni Boying Rimulya na nagpo-possess po ng multiple passports. Ito pong si Attorney Harry Roque. Nag-react agad siya, mga kababayan. Fake news daw si Boying. Ayan, sabi dito sa vlog niya.
25, puno na siya, kinailangan ko nang kumuha ng bagong passport, 2024 pala. Dahil kinuha ko yung bago kong passport ng 2024. Now, ganun pa man, hindi ko pa rin pwedeng itapon ito at hindi pa rin pwedeng kunin sa akin ng DFA. Ito dahil nandito rin ang aking visas, no? Nandito yung visa ko sa Shenzhen na ginamit ko nung ako'y pumasok dito sa Netherlands at nandito rin yung mga visa ko sa bansa na gaya ng Japan, no? At saka ng United Arab Emirates, no? So talagang yung mga lumang passport ay hahawakan mo pa dahil may mga multiple visas naman, multiple entry visas na hawak ka. Iba pa po yung passport kung nasaan yung aking 10-year US visa, no? So at any time, 3 ang dala kong passport. Pero iisa lang ang valid na passport. Yung valid lang na in-issue for the current period. Yung walang butas. Kapag may butas na ganito, ibig sabihin, kanselado na pa ito but without prejudice kasi pinalitan nila ng bago. So yun po ang katotohanan. No? Totoo po, 3 hawak kong passport. 2 luma na nandun na mga visas. Yung pinakaluma, nandun yung aking US visa. Itong visa na ito, nandito yung aking Shenzhen visa. At saka yung passport ko na current na ginagamit ko. Kasi nga po, napun agad.
Anyway, isa o multiple passports tulad ng nakarating na information kay Boying Rimulya, lahat ng passport mo ipapakansila na. O, di ba? Pag nakansila na yung passport niya, undocumented alien na siya. I-deport siya, mga kababayan, kung saan man siya nagtatago. O, di ba? Pasasaat, maabot ka rin ng long arms of the law. Mahuli ka rin ng ating mga authorities. At sabi nga natin, pag nahuli itong si Atty. Harry Roque, kailangan pusasan agad po para matanggal yung yabang. Walang tigil po sa pangangantyaw sa ating Pangulo. Nagsasayaw-sayaw, bangag, ngiwi, ngiwi. Tapos pati si First Lady Lisa Marcos, sinama sa pangangantyaw, butod. Naging parang batang paslit. Naging abnormal yung utak ni sabagay, lahat man po sila, yung amo niya ganun din. Mga abnormal mag-isip, mga childish, isip bata, mga kababayan. Yung mga isip bata dapat wala po sa gobyerno. Dapat yung mga isip bata ibalik po sa sa eskwelahan para matuto at mag-mature yung pag-iisip. Tama pa? At pag nakagawa ng krimen, tulad ng pagkasabit po sa qualified human trafficking, dapat papanagutin sa batas. Tama pa? Pero yung ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, sige lang ang trabaho. O, ito yung arrival statement ng ating Pangulong Bongbong mula sa 46 ASEAN Summit sa Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Pakinggan natin yung kanyang statement.
ASEAN Summit and related summits here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The summit was once again an opportunity to discuss among our fellow ASEAN member states and partners how we should navigate our future together. This amidst the various geopolitical and economic challenges that we face nationally, bilaterally, regionally, and globally. We discussed significant international issues and emerging challenges that not only impact our nation, but also the entire region, especially the West Philippine Sea. I reaffirmed that the Philippines will continue to defend our sovereignty, sovereign rights, and jurisdiction in the West Philippine Sea in accordance with international law. We continue to strengthen our partnerships with all countries who share our values and our commitment to peace and the rule of law. The leaders of ASEAN agreed to work as a whole towards the further advancement of ASEAN community building. We adopted the ASEAN Community Vision 2045, which sets out the future direction of ASEAN over the next 20 years, along with its accompanying strategic plans. We are collaborating with our partners to narrow development gaps and to promote inclusive growth, particularly for the marginalized, the underdeveloped, and vulnerable communities. We acknowledge the Complementarities Initiative, which maps the similar goals of the ASEAN Community Vision and the Sustainable Development Goals. We reaffirm the importance of the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia. And this is the code of conduct which governs the interstate relations in the region. To prepare our country and our region for the future, the economic front must also be developed. ASEAN continued to demonstrate resilience with a growth of 4.7% in 2024, higher than the global average. The leaders and I talked about the impact of the imposition of unilateral tariff measures, which pose a threat to a region as economically integrated as ours. We welcomed the establishment of the ASEAN Geoeconomics Task Force, which is an ad hoc specialized high-level advisory body which provides real-time analysis, strategic foresight, and actionable policy recommendations to support relevant ASEAN sectoral bodies. We reaffirmed ASEAN's collective commitment to a rules-based, open, inclusive, transparent, and non-discriminatory multilateral system. We strengthened our trade with external partners with upgrades in the ASEAN Trade in Goods Agreement, amendments in our free trade agreements, and utilization of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. We welcomed the issuance of the Joint Declaration on Economic Cooperation between ASEAN and the Gulf Cooperation Council. We look forward to its effective implementation. We welcome the progress in trade and customs, sustainable investment guidelines, mobilization of green financing, multilateral power trade, support to micro, small, and medium enterprises, and sustainable tourism, mining, and agriculture, among others. In line with the Philippines' commitment to the development of a common regional framework for ethical and responsible artificial intelligence aligned with ASEAN values, we noted the ongoing development of the Declaration on the Establishment of the ASEAN Artificial Intelligence Safety Network. This is a crucial step to institutionalize AI safety, ethics, and governance principles. This economic development goes hand in hand with strengthening the socio-cultural community. We discussed the progress achieved and actions moving forward for education, green jobs, migrant worker rights, civil service, and health. We adopted the ASEAN Creative Economy Sustainability Framework, which is a roadmap for balancing economic growth, social inclusion, cultural preservation, and environmental sustainability. Once again, the ASEAN leaders and I had a fruitful interface with the representatives of ASEAN Youth, where I highlighted the Philippines' hosting of the 14th Senior Officials Meeting on Youth and the ASEAN Youth Climate Action and Disaster Resilience Conference in Manila. That was recently as part of the government's commitment to the young people of ASEAN. I also encouraged the youth representatives to harness the full potential of technology for the region's development while keeping an eye to the challenges that this new frontier brings, particularly on the misuse of information and artificial intelligence. On the sidelines of the summit, I took the opportunity to engage leaders to discuss bilateral cooperation and strategic areas of mutual interest. I met with the leaders of Lao PDR, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Kuwait. We reaffirmed commitment to strengthen bilateral relations and further advance cooperation on many fields of mutual interest, such as defense, maritime, trade, human resource and development, and education. I especially wish to note that we agreed to explore active ways to boost private sector investments. We expressed openness to cooperating on advanced technologies, AI, and the digital space. I emphasized that welfare, safety, and progress of Filipinos working and living overseas is of paramount importance to my administration. In all my bilateral engagements, one thing is clear. We have to continue to cooperate and to work together to navigate a future that presents us with many opportunities together with many challenges. The Philippine delegation and I are grateful to Malaysia, the chair of ASEAN this year, and our generous host for the successful 46th ASEAN Summit. As the 2026 chair of ASEAN, the Philippines looks forward to building on the gains of Malaysia's chairship and carry ASEAN forward as we navigate our future together. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga po.
Ayan po yung ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos mula sa ASEAN Summit.
At itong ating programa mga kababayan, atid sa inyo nitong ating mga sponsors. Firmax Firming and Lifting Cream. Pinapay po sa mga pulses in affected area. Mainam po ito sa mga pains at paninigas ng mga kaso-kasuan. Ito sa mukha naman yung application, anti-aging, Automax po siya. Ito ay Glow Zero mga kababayan. Whitening po siya. Made in South Korea. Ito naman po, Ningxia Red Mix Fruit Drink. Gawa po siya sa goji berry. May anti-cancer properties po siya. At sa mga naghanap po ng malinis and spacious fitness gym, pumunta lang po kayo sa aming Colossal Fitness Gym. May Grab ka rental din po kami. At bills payment po sa aming office. At saka sa mga mahilig po sa mga imported bags, manood po kayo sa live selling ni Madam Eileen Rosales sa kanyang Eileen Closet po. Pati mga shoes, ito yung kanya po. Ito yung kanyang page. Kita ninyo, napakagandang mga online selling po siya. Si Madam Eileen Rosales. Cellphone number niya po 773-798-7816.